Vedanta actually is up 1.5%. That stock, of course, is going to be very much on investor focus. Vedanta has been rising and Cairn has been falling ever since CNBC TV18 broke the story that the two could be merged. We'll ponder a little more over that because there have been a lot of minority investor concerns over these kinds of mergers in the Vedanta group in the past. But first, let me invite our research analyst who tracks Vedanta very closely, Nigel D'Souza. Nigel, just take us through the merger plans before we start speaking with Amit Tandon of IIaS on minority shareholder concerns.
Lata, as you said, that Vedanta has been rising while Cairn India has been under pressure. That's because Cairn India is the one that's sitting with all the cash of around 17,000 crores approximately, while Vedanta's gross debt is nearly around 77,000 crores. So that really explains when you have a rich brother and in fact you have a slightly debt-laden one. So that's why in fact we are seeing divergent moves on both those two stocks. But what's really going to give direction will be the swap ratio if in case this merger does go through. Now, I'll give you a few more details. Vedanta Resources, that's the parent, has been hiking stake in Vedanta Limited from around 55% all the way to around 60%. So that was always on the cards because if in fact there is a merger, there'll be a fresh issue and then their holding will come lower. I was just doing the math and currently their holding is at around 62%. So even in case of a 1:1 ratio between Cairn India and Vedanta, the promoter holding will fall to little over 50%. So they'll yet be in control of the company. If in fact they didn't increase their stake from around 55% to 60%, then it would fall below that 50% range. And then analysts are saying maybe they'll have to do something more to increase their stake to more than 50%. Also, in terms of the parent, that's Vedanta Resources PLC, they have a big debt. They have a debt of around $7.7 billion. And for this year itself, they have a debt maturity of around $2.4 billion. So there is a lot of talk that maybe, in fact, they'll use some of these post the merger. Then they get full access to Cairn India's 17,000 crores of cash that they're holding. And also, if in case the next stage, that is when Hindustan Zinc comes into play as well, which currently that cannot go through because the government of India holds 30% of that. So if that goes through, then they get full access to around that 17,000 crores of cash that Cairn India is sitting on, and that could help the parent as well. So that's really what's happening currently. The ratio, though, that's going to be most important. Currently, we're working with around 1:1.
You get it on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy Sunday, I believe, for me. And so if, in fact, we go by the ratio of around 1:1, then it will dilute the Vedanta shareholding by nearly around 20%, the shareholding base, and the promoter holding will fall from around 62% to around 50% approximately if you go by that ratio.